It's not popping up. What's going on there? Ah, there it is. All right. YouTube being slow. All right, let's do a quick few updates. So we've got another problem with Facebook again. Good morning. Welcome to Stiffler Manufacturing. We'll be talking about our slides this morning. Got this build here, talking a little bit about Facebook problems and an announcement about the Sig P320 and what Stiffler is not going to be doing with its former plans for the SM320. Hey, FE Ordnance, what's going on? Oh, just Facebook harassing us again. They really are. They're dirty commies. And they won't even tell us what post it is that they have an issue with anymore. They just keep linking a post from 8 months ago. But they told us the event was on July 14th, but they won't link the post as to what we did. And they have no avenue to dispute, discuss, appeal to it. So, is what it is. But, good morning, everybody. I'll have our Facebook link in. If you want to get our info there, you're going to have to like and sub manually. You are not going to be able to find us through your feed, as we are no longer recommendable. Yep, Facebook is the guy. Unfortunately, we can't get people to move a whole lot onto other platforms, because despite Facebook being a known anti-Second Amendment organization, people still use it. Which means we're forced to use it. Don't you mean reprehensible? Oh, there we go. Let's get the tags added in here. The funny thing is, we now have more followers on YouTube than we do our Facebook, because Facebook's been hindering our growth for the last 8 months. Despicable, degenerate, deplorable. It is, yes. Actually, let me turn on another light so you can get a better view of it. There we go. So that is a Glock clone utilizing a Palmetto State Armory compact dagger frame with a Stiffler Manufacturing SM19 turbo slide in Cerakote Camo. The barrel is an ELD Performance, and the upper parts kit is an SCT Manufacturing. Have a good one, FE Ordnance. Thanks for dropping by. There we go, and save. Thank you. Over here we have one of our Arctic white slides with a Siley Optics Wolf X Pro. Our red slide there is a Hellet, utilizing Habanero Red as the Cerakote. And this is an SM19 Zoom, utilizing Graphite Black and Arctic White, with a Tactical Penguin stencil to simulate lightning. Yep, and they're noticing us again. Your page, Stiffler Manufacturing, is no longer being recommended to others on Facebook. Fix your page now. But they offer us no recourse to fix it. They won't even tell us what we did. Oh, nice. We consider doing 1911 from time to time, but right now we're stuck on Glock 19 and 17, and we're going to be working on the 43. We will not, however, be working on the Sig P320. We did have early plans for it, but given all of the issues, as well as the ICE memo and the Air Force memo, as well as the ongoing investigations in California, we just won't be doing it. The SM320 is canceled. Which is truly unfortunate. We'd already done some of the prep work for it. Yeah, go ahead. You can reach out to us on Facebook or Instagram. You can see all of our social media and stuff through this link here. Link bio has our Facebook, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, Blue Sky, True Social, eBay, as well as our main website, and then other people we're affiliated with, such as like RB Tactical, Delta, MMC, Davidson, other people who sell our slides. Oh, thank you so much. Once we hit 1K, we plan on giving a slide away. This Viper back here, the white one, I'm not sure what color we'll do it in, but it will be a Viper slide. There we go. And of course we got our Ghost Dad Tactical Lube over here. Still haven't tried it yet, but I can tell you it smells like green apples. Let's go into that one, I guess. We're going to talk about the P320 and our cancellation of plans for the SM320. So let's go to the ICE memo from 21 July. And this is... Oh, sorry, that's the Air Force memo from 21 July. The ICE memo is July 9th. So from that, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, commonly known as ICE, has decided to cancel all use of the Sig Sauer P320. And all of its agents will now be transitioning to the Glock 19 Gen 5 with MOS optic cut. Now, I have heard rumors, I haven't seen the memo yet, but apparently Customs and Border Protection, also known as Border Patrol, will also be switching from the P320 over to the Glock 19 and the Glock 45. And now, most recently, on July 21st, apparently after the death of an airman, the United States Air Force is suspending all use of the M18, which is a compact version of the M17, which is essentially the military copy of the Sig Sauer P320. Airmen are now transitioning to the M4 carbine for all security forces uses. So, in addition to this, along with all of the other officers that have been unintentionally discharged with their firearms into their leg or in their foot or just into the ground, California putting the Sig P320 on an internal California law enforcement investigation, we are no longer proceeding with doing the Stiffler SM320 slide, which sucks because we'd already done measurements, we had already gotten a program kind of set up, and we were kind of like in the pre-production phase of it. And yeah, it's just, we're not doing it. It's not economically worth it for us. Let's see, let's go back to the comments. T-Riff, you've been doing jeweling on your barrels? Oh yeah, man, send us a photo of that. You shoot your balls off, kid. Christmas story. Yep, definitely. Stony Danza, how's it going? Daniel Carter, what are you doing? How's it going, man? Go back to 1911s for military use. 45 caliber is a great caliber, but I'd rather have 17 9mm rounds than 7 45s. So if I was carrying around, you know, a Beretta or whatever, it doesn't matter, I'd want more ammunition. EDC, what's going on? Good live last night. Tristan Spears, how you doing? Yep, I remember the M9, though the ones we had were so beat to shit, because, you know, every troop was using them as a hammer, over-cleaning them. I mean, they did make the M9A3 when, you know, kind of like a desert tan, but the Army did not go with it. I mean, even on my frickin', well, dating myself, but I had an M16A2, an M16A4, and then also the M4, M4A1. But the bluing was gone on all of those except for the M4, which we had gotten new ones. Hey, Josh B, how's it going? So the Wolf X Pro is around 230, 235, and the Wolf EDG is around 270. We're still testing them out. Siley Optics sent these out to us so we could test them. I've got 200 rounds through the Wolf X Pro, and I did that in an indoor range, and it's just fine. But I need to take it out to the desert, like do some drop testing and stuff. The Wolf EDG, I need to do an unboxing video. I haven't even opened it up yet. Yeah, Daniel Carter, you're probably not wrong, and I had a discussion with RB Tactical about that, and we're kind of in agreement that if any aftermarket business starts making SIG stuff, and then if a UD happens, SIG will probably potentially jump on that and be like, hey, look, aftermarket. Of course, that doesn't explain the OEM doing that, but... Oh, I popped in back in 2015, so I was late to the game, but still got my deployment in. SIG has stocks in Cat 9? I don't know. Do they? So yeah, it just sucks that we did the prep work for making the SM320, and we were basing it on the M17 model. There's several of us here at Stiffler Manufacturing who are militarily affiliated. I myself was a legal Eagle, so I spent time in the JAG Corps. Big Stiffler, he was a combat medic, spent time in an infantry platoon. overseas in Afghanistan. I was on the Iraqi-Kuwaiti border. One of our other guys was a Marine. He was an 0311 infantry. He was in Iraq. And we had a sailor for a little while. I forget what she did, but I know she did something on a ship. My time overseas was with the 101st. Good guys. Yeah, they do. I mean, anything to divert attention away from a problem. Oh, Sig has stock and tourniquets. Yeah, that's another question there, EDC, because we're also looking at the 365. Because we want to branch out beyond just Glock. Don't be wrong, we still have to do the Glock 43, we still got to do the 26, possibly the 34. Then there's the 20 and the 21. Like, Glock has lots of options. It's just we kind of wanted to branch out a little bit because not everybody likes Glock. And we're getting people trying to get us to do CZ, and I don't know if the CZ modding market is big enough for us to branch into it. Same with Smith & Wesson. The Glock modding market was there. Yeah, the 23 and the 36. No, you pulled them all off? Okay. That's fair. It's you know, a lot. I think a lot of businesses are probably going to do the same. It's the liability. They don't want to risk it, and I can't blame a business for doing that. Like, sometimes people ask us, "Hey, why haven't you made this yet? Why haven't you done that yet?" And it's like, well, measured growth and risk. The FN 509. That's another one to think about, though, too, is the slides that people want us to work on. Are they still patented? Is the copyright still valid? The whole reason there's a lot of Glock slide producers is because the Glock patent expired. So, like the 1911, you can still do it because the patent has long since expired. That's why Ruger made a 1911, and all these other businesses made a 1911. And DZ is? Yeah, that's why we were looking into it. Now, there's a difference between a business being able to make a slide like what we're doing, because we're not taking Glock slides and milling them. We're taking a bar of stainless steel and then milling them down into slides. So we're not taking a official Glock slide and modifying it. We're making the slides entirely ourselves. So there's a little bit of a difference here. Hey, JD, what's going on? Yeah, that is a dagger. Well, the frame is a dagger anyway, not the slide. The slide's ours. If we get an FFL 07, maybe. Because if we start making frames, we got to start dealing with the ATF. And we got to get things serialized, and we got to grow the shop in a different direction. It's going to be a whole different thing. Thank you, T-Riff. Yeah, it's Tony. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if that's what we want to do. Maybe we will someday as we grow. Yeah, we kind of love our shop dog, so. He's a good boy. He's the goodest boy. But yeah, Facebook also went all anti-2A on us again and won't tell us why. So if you want to find us for up-to-date news, Facebook and Instagram, you're going to have to manually go and find us. Links in the description. Follow us there. Because while we do lives pretty regularly, to get the quickest news, it's going to be Facebook and Instagram. Then, of course, we also got Twitter and other stuff, but... My favorite 22 long rifle pistol. I don't know if I have a favorite. GSG Firefly wasn't bad. The SR-22 was okay. I kind of liked that Heritage Rough Rider 22, but that's just because I could swap the cylinder to a 22 mag. Maybe a steel counterweight, something to attach onto the... Oh, yeah, that'd be interesting to do. Not a huge issue with our slides being 17.4. It's denser than 4.16. That said, once you start cutting windows out, you are taking, weight off the slide. No, I don't think I did. Let's pop over to the channel. Was it a short? A post? What do you got in here? Alive? Oh, last night? Oh, I think I found it. Okay. Classic tune. Yeah, they inlay the wood with different types of wood and stuff so that on a slide, different type metals, gold, bronze. Kinda. What makes Sig a good gun? Right now, not a whole lot. This here is a Glock clone. Right now, the Sig P320 is what we were talking about earlier, is not doing so well. We have the ICE memo where ICE is getting rid of the Sig P320 in favor of the Glock 19. The Air Force is suspending use of the M18, which is a SIG, and they are switching their security forces to using the M4 instead of their service pistol. California is investigating the SIG. It's a whole lot of problems. And an airman, tragically, was apparently killed by an M18 going off, and a cop in California was also shot by her P320 going off. And I have an M17 myself. Just I never really carried it around. Certain chassis like Micro-Roni only attach to OEM Glock serrations. A bit of it was to make our slide a bit more unique, and the canted serrations have a different grip feel than the OEM grip serrations. We want to keep the design as best we can away from other people's designs, and we don't want to make an exact clone of what Glock has. Or if we can help it, anything too similar to what other manufacturers are making, which is difficult because there's so many out there. Eventually, some stuff is going to cross over. But we are debating doing a scaled down model so that people can do their own work on it, kind of a like a blank, if you will. Here, let me put this one over here so I can show you. So it'll still have, if we do it, it'll still have all the regular internals that'll let it fit on a Glock. Sorry, rather I should say undercarriage. It'll be the same undercarriage. But then instead of all the design features, it'll just be void of any of those. It won't necessarily just be a square brick. We might round it out, or we might chamfer it, but this way we could sell it off to minimalists, people who just want the bare minimum, or we could sell it to people who want to do their own custom work to it, do their own engraving, do their own painting. I mean, there's plenty of others out there that kind of offer the same, but ours would be 17.4 steel, so that might interest some people. Oh yeah, same sights for a long time. So yep, and that's the unfortunate truth of it. We're not doing the Stiffler SM320 because of all of the issues with Sig. There we go. Throw that on there. Hey, Michael Hankins, what do you? We don't do any work on slides. Are you asking about our slide swap program, replacement program? Because we do a slide swap program for people with slides they no longer like. Or slides that have had some kind of catastrophic issue from another company. Case-by-case basis, of course. If it looks like you obviously did the damage yourself, we're going to say no. Yeah, sure, Stony Danza, no problem. Let me do a quick little magic trick to remove this frame so they don't give me crap for touching things. There we go. Now we just hide this little frame, and boop. Okay, so here we have a Remsport R19. It is a slide someone else picked up a while back, and if it focuses right, you can see the safety plunger is, well, for lack of better words, totally fucked. So this guy has essentially an unusable slide, and we kind of felt bad. So we told him, hey, look, you send this to us and we will send you one of our slides so we can get you back to the range. And he got kind of an upgrade, as you can imagine, because we sent him one of our SM19 zoom slides. So whereas the Remsport has no optics cut, we have a Trijicon RMR flat optic cut. Where the Rem Sport is 416 steel, ours is 17.4. We didn't send him this one, we sent him one that's all black. We're also doing that for other people who are just not interested in their old OEMs. We have a few people sending us some 19s that we're going to swap for ours. And, you know, some people, if they wanted a, you know, like they have a 26 slide, but they want to try and do like a 26 long, or maybe they're just not interested in 26 anymore, swap it for one of our 19s. Hey, Don J. Michael Hankins, unfortunately, we don't do custom work on people's individual slides. We just make the slides. Reason for that being is that we don't have a machine set up to do that. So right now, all of our machines are designed for production. So if we were to work on one person's slide, we'd have to stop working on 36 slides. Typically, people have been making a 19 long by taking a 17 slide and putting it on a 19 frame, and then using an adapter to cover the recoil spring assembly. Same thing with the 26. They'll put a 19 slide on a 26 and do the same thing. Classic joke there, Gibson. Classic. I shall give you a golf clap. No, we're well familiar with the jokes of American Pie, and we embrace them. We've seen people make them fit to make a 19 long. For example, you can also... Glock is basically Legos. Thank you, Gibson. For example, you can fit the Gen 3 19 on a Gen 5 45. You might need to... I mean, you're going to have to change out the back plate. You might need to change out the slide lock release. And you might need to get an adapter for the recoil spring assembly, because the recoil spring assembly from the Gen 3 to the Gen 4 is different. It's bigger, so you might need to get an adapter. And then, of course, the Gen 5 has ambi slide lock release, so... Yeah, there's all kinds of videos out there on it. We don't offer any advice on it, but there's plenty of videos on it. Though if you try to Google it, it's just going to tell you things like, modifying a firearm is dangerous. Frickin' AI. The 23 Gen 3 and the 19 Gen 4 fit. Oh, Don J, so like we were talking about our slide swap program that you're familiar with. This is one of the ones we did it for in the past. Someone had a horribly destroyed safety plunger. But this is a Rem Sport R19 made out of 416 stainless steel with a black nitride coating. Minimal on the features. No RMR. We do not. We cut slides for the Trijicon RMR flat optic cut. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what he did, but it's wild. Unfortunately, we're not set up to do optic cuts for people. We need to get another machine that's small that's set up for individual work. The machines we have are made for production. Like right now, we're working on making like 40 something slides at the shop. So we'd have to halt production of those to work on like one slide. It wouldn't make sense. With the TF Tactical triggers from Delta Team Tactical, I haven't used it yet. Funny though, we do sell our slides to Delta. So yeah, Delta buys our slides. They're on their website. If you go into the search bar and type Stiffler on Delta's website, you'll see our slides. Oh, I do got to go off the post office this morning, too. I'm mailing out slides to Texas, Tennessee, Florida. If anybody orders something before I leave. Well, anything that we have in stock, anyway. I do got to send some more slides off to RB Tactical Market over on eBay. His eBay store sells some of our slides. His eBay store is crazy. It's like, here's random collectibles, like, you know, toys and memorabilia. And here's militaria, like uniforms and patches. And then here's gun parts. It's like all over the place. It's a fun store. Oh, nice. We're getting in some SCT frames and also some more PSA so we can do more testing. Then, of course, we also test on Polymer 80 and Glock OEM. And if you guys like Facebook, in addition to subbing here, please go and follow us over there because Facebook is kicking us in the ass right now. I don't know what we posted to piss them off because they won't tell us, but we're no longer recommendable. Yeah, social media is not a 2A business's friend, unfortunately. If you're running a 2A channel yourself, I mean, even YouTube's not really 2A friendly. Oh, hey, our one award. I always wonder how people go about getting those. Like, you go and see business awards and stuff. So we have one from the Office of the Secretary of Defense for the Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve, or ESGR. And specifically awarded to us because we hired members of the National Guard and Reserves for contributing to national security and protecting liberty and freedom by supporting employee participation in America's National Guard and Reserve Force. So that's just hanging up on the wall. But I always wonder, how do people get other ones, like best gun shop in the city, things like that. Like, who does that? Who does that for people? Yeah, we're on Rumble. I need to start streaming on there more, especially now that Rumble's improved how they do their streaming. But if you want to follow us on Rumble, we're also right here. We'll probably start streaming more on Rumble. YouTube's fine for now. Plus, we're still trying to get our 1K subs on YouTube so we can do our slide giveaway. Well, I mean, right now we're at 709. I think we'll get there in a few weeks. Which, thank you so much for the likes and subs. It's greatly appreciated. And if you have any questions while I'm here, feel free to ask about the slides or what we do. We've been doing this since January of 2023. We went to SHOT Show this year in Las Vegas. We're veteran-owned and operated. We hire veterans. We've got civilian staff too, but do a wide variety of colors. Oh yeah, no worries, Don J. Once we get it, I'll be sure to know. I'm stopping by the shop today too. But they should be in the shop in a few hours. And if the guys next door have it, they'll walk it over to us because we get each other's mail quite often. I think the mail, I don't know why, but I think the mailbox system confuses the postal worker. A favorite non-RMR footprint optic? Not really. I think most of my experiences with RMR. I haven't tried out the MOS yet. I think I had an Acro once. Hey, Christopher. Not yet. We are working on the 43. We hope to have it before year's end, if all goes well. I don't promise a timeline, but if everything goes right, we'll have it this year. Arizona's great, man. I don't know about job-wise. It depends on what job field you're looking for, I guess. But Arizona, when it comes to guns, is great. We're constitutional carry. There's no waiting period. You just need to be 21 to conceal carry. If you want to get the concealed carry license, you can, like if you plan on traveling to other states or going to certain federal properties. Open carry is completely legal here. Arizona loves its guns. Ooh, yeah. Get that money. Get that retirement. Yeah, there's several constitutional carry states. I used to make fun of Texans because they used to talk about how badass they were with guns. But if you remember Texas before the OCT, the open carry Texas movement, Texas gun laws sucked. Texas was not the badass of the Second Amendment that they love to proclaim themselves to be, up until the open carry Texas movement. And that it was, for those of you unfamiliar, the open carry Texas movement happened after a retired Army first sergeant was arrested with his son while they were out hiking and they had firearms with them, open carrying. And so this spawned a massive movement. You probably saw it on the news where people were open carrying and protesting, doing 2A audits, similar to like First Amendment audits, if you've ever seen those, except they're just walking to places with their long guns, their rifles and shotguns. So up until that movement, Texas, you had really shitty gun laws. You were not the most free. Oh, yeah. Make sure you get, I mean, if it's Oklahoma, I think they recognize your license. That's where I'm hoping national reciprocity happens. Because, like, for example, my license, when I go to travel to other states, many states recognize, it's like 30 or 40 states recognize our license, but California, next door, does not. Not that I plan to go to California all that often. New York doesn't recognize it. New Jersey doesn't recognize it. Multiple states don't recognize our license. So national reciprocity would force those states that refuse to recognize other states' licenses to recognize them. Oh, maybe I should get a coffee. And while all that coffee's brewing, I'd like to remind you all, grab a beer. Nah, I gotta go to work later. Well, national reciprocity cover constitutional carry? Not 100% sure on that. Actually, Stony Danza, if you're looking to get up to date on a bunch of gun news, go check out John Crump News. He's on YouTube and Rumble, does a lot of gun news. Shoo, what's up? I need an issued license to carry in a state that recognizes Oklahoma, but I can carry in Oklahoma without a license. Yeah, same here. And that's the whole reason. Well, I also got the license because of the military. I don't know if any of you remember on the news a few years back, there was a shooting at a recruiting office in Tennessee. I believe it was a Marine recruiting office. And so after that, multiple installations, National Guard bases, and reserve installations offered a way for troops to carry concealed, but one of the stipulations was that you had to get a permit as proof of like training and certification, and you also had to get your base commander, not just your unit commander, but you also had to get your installation commander's permission. So they had a whole process for it. They had to go through the JAG Corps, and everything had to get all their T's crossed and their I's dotted. Yeah, Provost Marshal was made aware. So they had like a roster of who was approved to carry a firearm concealed on their person. And it was because they know that the MP, not every post has a lot of MPs. Not every post has a huge civilian security presence. So they were just like, this way troops could travel to and from and keep their firearms so long as they were authorized to do so. $200 for 10 years. Ours is, I want to say, like $50 for 5 years. Actually, let's see what it's been updated to. Okay, so the current fee has gone up in price to $60, but a renewal is $43. And it's good for 5 years. Don J asks, are you going to be doing more of those custom ported barrels like the heart shape? Oh, we didn't do that, Don. So that was a company called Superior Triggers, and they've also started getting into laser porting barrels. They do custom trigger kits, and they've also started getting into laser porting. Oh yeah, same here, Stony Dan. All I had to do was show a DD-214 or some sort of proof of being a veteran. Which also works for those of you who know people. If you're in the National Guard or Reserves, they get a DD-214 after training. They can use that to get the proof of their training. The system's not picky, which is part of why they did a law a few years ago. So I guess if a lot of you didn't know that National Guardsmen and reservists don't necessarily get a DD-214 when they get out. Well, a lot of civilian organizations and government agencies don't recognize the NGB form. So the federal government had to kind of step in and say, okay, even these guys get a 214 when they get out, because civilian and veteran agencies weren't recognizing them as veterans. The politics of bureaucracy. Which is bullshit. Like, I've served alongside active guard and reserve, and I'm like, everybody did their job, but they weren't recognizing guys as veterans because they didn't get the same piece of paper. Yes, we are able to, but we don't. And that's because our machines aren't set up for individual work. Hey, Nate, how you doing? My favorite everyday carry. It rotates depending on what I'm doing that day, where I'm going, what the weather's like. But I carry a Glock 19. I carry a Ruger SR9. An old 357 revolver I've got. And also just sometimes one of our Stiffler clones. Actually, I will do a quick magic trick and show you one of our clones. Oops, too soon. There it is. We are the Stiffler Manufacturing SM19 Turbo Slide in Camo Cerakote. Atop the Palmetto State Armory Compact Tan Dagger. The barrel is an ELD Performance, and the upper parts kit is an SCT Manufacturing. And the sights are Glock OEM. So yeah, I carry something like that around when I'm not carrying the others. Yeah, someday we might invest in getting a machine that's designed for custom work. Not 100%, but... Not yet, Stony. We've done it for, like, local individuals we know. But we haven't done it for other people yet, and one of the reasons we haven't is we've already encountered people who say they don't like the quality of Cerakote work, and then they try to get discounts or partial refunds or get us to let them keep the slide for free. And so if we take someone's individual slide and then because what we have to do this process is you have to take the slide, clean it, you have to sonic clean it, then you have to sand it, And then after you sand it, like we're putting it in a sandblaster, we're going to strip off whatever old coating you had. And then we are going to Cerakote it. And all it takes is the customer saying, well, I don't like it, give me back my old slide. Which we can't do. And unfortunately, we live in a society where America spent 50 years telling the customer that they're always right. Not that they're always right in the matter of taste, but that they're always absolutely right so long as they bitch, whine, moan, and yell enough. So people think they can get away with scamming businesses like that. Yeah, greedy people, Don. And it's what's kept us from doing certain things because we've already encountered it, and we're trying to mitigate any losses and mitigate any issues. Which sucks, because we could totally do this for somebody. We could cut sights, we could cut, the RMR on there. We could Cerakote stuff for people. It's just, I know small businesses that have refused to ship to certain cities, certain counties, certain states, because of how many scams they've been getting. A common one is chargebacks. Doing a chargeback scam, which is why a lot of businesses have changed how they do their tracking, so we can prove that the product actually got to you. And so we can just say, hey, look, this, and this person stole, or is attempting to steal. And then the chargeback doesn't work. In some cases, we even do signature required. So if you don't sign for it, you don't get it. Yes, we do. Feel free to reach out to us on Facebook or Instagram. And we'll shoot you that discount code. Yeah, we've had stuff disappear in shipping too, and funny enough, you go to complain about it, and all of a sudden it reappears. If it's a certain value. Because we had a shipment sent off to a distributor that had like 25 slides in it. And, so as you can imagine, it's like $3,000 worth of stuff right there. And we're just like, oh yeah? Well, here's our shipping information, and now we're opening a case, and we paid for the insurance on it. Where's our stuff? Because I want my $3,000. All of a sudden, the package was found. No problems. I want my insured compensation. All of a sudden, just snap of the thumb, there's our package. The entire system that we have runs on trust. And I don't think people realize that. Is that you're trusting the carrier to do their job. Ugh. Yeah, the post office has its own inspectors and has its own law enforcement branch. And they are rough. Like, people do go to prison. But there are people who do get by. I know people in some of the collector markets for, like collectibles, Funkos, Pokemon, things like that. And even those are getting taken from in certain shipping areas. Oh yeah, it's called the United States Postal Inspection Service, and they are cops, and they do carry guns, and they handle postal crime. And sometimes they even work with other shippers, like they will work with UPS and FedEx and Amazon and try and coordinate everything to get a good arrest. They've even arrested porch pirates, like the people who just go around stealing packages. Because stealing mail is a felony. You're never going to catch everybody, but like if you do get caught, sucks to be you. And if you're in a certain state, stealing firearm parts is just going to add additional stuff onto that. It's wild. Yep, just going to have to build a new one. Thankfully, it's pretty cheap. Like, if you get a PSA, you're looking at $50 plus whatever FFL fees you have to do. And then you get a complete Stiffler slide, you're looking at $250. So 300 plus, you've got a new build. Oh, that's because they're a distributor. So they buy in bulk. When they buy slides, they buy 50, 100, 300, 500. So the price for the camo is more because this takes 3 runs of Cerakote to make. So it takes more time, it takes more labor, it takes more product. So Delta can, and I believe they have ordered them in the past on a smaller scale, but they're not going to order them in bulk like this yet because we charge so much more for these. It's so much easier to do one color than it is to do camo or a stencil. You can always ask Delta. Maybe they'll start ordering them. But otherwise, you can just get them from us. And that's where some of the pricing comes in. Like, how does a business make money off selling a manufacturer's product? Because they're ordering in bulk. Delta doesn't order 1 or 2 slides and tries to resell them. They order 500 slides and sell them. So that's how that works. Which, if you came to me and you were like, hey, how can I get this dealer rate? I'm like, well, as a business, you'll get a dealer rate. Or if you're ordering wholesale enough, you'll get that rate. If you came to me and said, hey, Stiffler, I want 300 slides, we'll talk. Yeah, the camo is cool. I like this one a lot. We've got this one. We've got the OD camo. We've got winter camo. Even some cow camo. They'll begin working on it once they receive it. That's up to my shipping manager. She runs all the logistics for that stuff. She keeps everything on schedule. But think about it. You get 300 Stiffler slides at a dealer rate, and then you just turn around and sell them to all the local gun shops and all your buddies, and you make your money back. Plus, you get to keep the choice ones you like. That argument's not going to work. I'd like to try out doing some DIY Cerakote, but I'm worried about screwing it up. Duracoat has one called Dura Blue, and it's meant to match the aesthetics of a good blue finish. So, if you want to get into Cerakote, what I'd say you should do is go on Craigslist and get an oven. Go find an oven that you plan on putting outdoors or in your shed or wherever your workspace is. And then bear in mind, you are never going to use this oven again for cooking. It is now a Cerakote oven. Okay? So now you get your spray gun, you get your air compressor, you get all your tools set up. You set up your spray paint area. And then when you're done, you move it into this Cerakote oven. And this will allow you to do it on a small scale. Okay, so like if you want to go Cerakote your AR, or you want to go Cerakote some tools, or some car parts, you can do individual items, maybe several items, but you don't need an industrial oven. You can make 1 or 2 parts at a time, doing it this way. As long as the oven can get to and hold temperature, that's what you need. Aiming a 320 at you? That would hurt me, not you. No, just kidding. But this here is a Glock clone using parts from Stiffler Manufacturing, ELD Performance, SCT Manufacturing, Glock, and Palmetto State Armory. The title of the live has P320, M17, etc. because we were talking about the issues involving the Sig P320 earlier. And that Stiffler Manufacturing will not be doing a 320 clone slide, unfortunately. Well, thank you so much for all the likes and subs. And if you guys do have Facebook, feel free to like and follow us directly, since Facebook says we are no longer recommendable because of gun stuff. Yep, the Air Force incident happened. Not a lot of details out, but apparently an airman died. And yeah, so we weren't going to do it. We were already looking at not doing it before the ICE memo. And then once the ICE memo hit, we were done. Thank you, D-Guy. Yep, we're not doing a 320. Which sucks because we did all the prep work for it. You know, started making a model, did all the measurements. It's just like, well, damn. So apparently, an M18, which is a compact version of the 17, which is the military version of the Sig P320, went off and killed an airman. And now the Air Force has suspended all use of the M18 by its security forces, and they will be switching over to the M4. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has also switched use of the P320 over to the Glock 19. California law enforcement agencies are currently investigating the Sig P320 after a California police officer was shot in the leg, while apparently the pistol was holstered. And I haven't seen the memo on this one yet, but apparently Customs and Border Protection, or Border Patrol, is also switching from the P320 over to the Glock 19 and the Glock 45. Yeah, so not a lot of good news for SIG right now. We're still looking into if it's viable to do the SIG P365, because there has not been any issues with that pistol. Yeah, that's popping out all over the place. And I read the Air Force memo, and I'm like, okay. And I'm wondering, are the other branches going to follow with the 17? Because the Army has already completely shifted the M9 Beretta out. There might be a few reserve units that still have the M9, maybe a few Guard units, but even the National Guard has the M17. They might switch. I mean, when stuff like this happens, you never know. The government might double down, or they might say, screw it, and we're switching. The question is, what do they do with all the 320s? They probably couldn't sell them off to another country. They probably couldn't sell them on the open market easily enough. For those of you who don't know, the military does auction off its gear. And I think the civilian marksmanship program, maybe they could dump them on them, but who knows? I think there was something about SIG also sold a bunch of these to India for their armed forces, and they outrageously scammed them on the prices. Like, I got my SIG for $600. I got my M17 for 600. They sold them to the Indian Armed Forces for like 1,700 a piece. Dump them in FG. Yeah, out of all the weapons and crap we left behind, we couldn't have left behind the M17. 17 wasn't phased in. Well, Stoney, the M9s could just be in storage, so maybe it's a quick, easy way to swap. But I'm surprised they hadn't gone and just put them into market yet to have them auctioned off to get some money back. But keep in mind, any M9s you get, some troops use those things like frickin' hammers. Hey, Luca, how you doing? Ooh, my back. Yeah, somebody might. Maybe they'll just have them, keep them not chambered until they need to. No, we don't do custom Cerakote. We'd like to someday, we're just not ready to do it. I have fired both, and the Mark 19 jams more, but, I mean, sending 40 millimeters of boom in someone's direction is freaking awesome. Liberators. The Stiffler X Palmetto. I mean, that's what's so great about our slide is you can just swap it. I mean, unlike the direct... Now, granted, he did have a switch installed, which is what made that so difficult. But look how fast that is. Super easy. Nothing like a brass shot to the nuts. I don't know, I gotta go with the M2. 50 cal. M2, M2A1, or the M107. Don't get me wrong, when you need to light up a building externally, Mark 19. When you need to clear a floor through its own windows, Mark 19. A shit ton of fucking trouble, Don. A shit ton. If you got caught. I'm not even sure there's much TDS could do for you. Finally, the 240. I know they're replacing the 249 with the Sig 250. Though now that might be into question. Yeah, 240B still spanks. That has to smoke like a motherfucker. Using motor oil on the Mark 19? On top of that, not really good lube. I mean, it's oil. I mean, brain's cranking. What do you think of the XM7 and the 250? Never shot them. Initially, I thought it was a good idea, but it looks like Sig's having problems. Yeah, we can only afford the 6.8 in Tarkov. God. Hey, none of us getting the, what is it, 227 Fury? Oh, it catches fire? Well, shit. I mean, motor oil doesn't usually ignite easily. God damn. Oh, I'm getting a crap ton of notifications. What the hell? Yes, I know I'm live. Thank you for letting me know. I've been live. Thank you. What's the largest order of slides I've ever shipped? All in one order, or I guess in 1 month. 1 month would probably be the best one, but it was like 800 or 900. Because they didn't order everything all in one go. They ordered, like, okay, first week, hey, we need 200 of this slide. And then a few days later, or even up to next week, like, hey, we need 100 more of this. And that was just the whole damn month. They were just every few days to a week, they'd order more. All the same company. But, like, all in a single order, I want to say, like, 500. Yeah, we're set up for production. So, that's why working on individual stuff is so hard for us, because we'd have to pause everything to work individually. And that means we'd have to change out stuff in the machine, and it's just... It's better for us to wait until we have the funds to get an individual machine, if that's something we even decide to do. Magic drip. What else do I want to show off? Let's show off a black turbo. Here we go. Black show off. And how about this old cobalt kinetic green Viper slide? Luca, because YouTube does not want you touching gun frames or complete builds. And this is all because a few years back, I don't want to disparage the dead, but let's call it a Darwin Award winner, decided to have his girlfriend put a dictionary in front of his head, and she shot said dictionary because they thought it would stop a 50 Action Express. And it did not. It did not at all. Then there was the other guy who unalived himself on YouTube Live, and it stayed live for hours because no one knew where he was. So, ever since then, YouTube just doesn't let you touch guns on live. I can make as many videos about guns as I want. I just I can't touch them on live. So we pause it. On Rumble and Instagram, this is not an issue. I can touch firearms on Rumble or Instagram, just not on YouTube. Which sucks. No, that's one of our old stormtroopers. I don't have an Arctic camo in front of me. But they're similar in appearance. Just the stormtrooper has more of a gloss finish. I shot a 45 round mag of 27-year-old ammo out of my M17 and the smoke was ridiculous. Oh man, no doubt. It might have been a Bible. I forget what book it was. Who really thought knowledge was going to stop 50 Action Express. Yeah. I think what they did, Blake, is they tested it on a book prior to this, and it worked. And then they tested it again this time around with his head behind it, and it didn't work. Not to mention, though, the transfer of energy. The books, even if it did stop the round, once that book made contact with his head, he would have given himself a concussion. I think people forget energy transfer is a thing. The veteran with the shotgun would have oh, yeah. So Rumble, I'm liking it more now that they've updated how to do live. So before you needed a third party, like something like OBS or something to do lives. Now you can just stream like you can on YouTube. Yeah, Blake, unfortunately the world's full of double standard bullshit, so you can, do druggy shit and hood rat shit and skimpy clothes and be cruel to animals on videos, but you can't have a gun. Reaper, what's going on? Oh, my coffee's ready. Coffee. Coffee, coffee, coffee. Let's see. Maybe. Yeah, the girlfriend went to jail on some serious... Okay. Yep. It is for pretrial and misdemeanors. They usually only hold you in jail for like a max of a year. Prison for the long term. Well, that is what negative marketing is all about, Daniel. Okay, let's pop out recoil spring. Let's pop out barrel. Now, where is my kit? You know what? I bet it's in there. Here we go. We're going to do a little swap. Okay. Show off some of the stuff inside here. Gonna need that. What did I do with those screws? Oh yeah, strip and clock's easy. Oh, there's the screws. Okay, so those are down in there. Where is the Allen wrench? Ah, there they are. Okay, Allen wrench. Keep the screws safe. Okay, let's move a few things around. Okay, now if I remember right, this was a 9.5 and a 12 millimeter. There we go, had you in there good, didn't we? Oh yeah, I used to study administration of justice at one time, and then, of course, I spent a good part of my Army career in the JAG Corps. Did some other stuff here and there too, but mostly JAG Corps. Was a machine gunner in a combat support unit. Did some other stuff. Oh, right, there we go. Oh, yep, this is definitely one of the old slides. Okay. Get the RMR screws. Okay, where's my plate? I know some vets do airsoft. A lot of vets get real chill after they get out. Yeah, for those of you who need to change out your RMR screws, swap your plate out, you know. What you're looking for is a 1/16 or a 1.5 millimeter. Yeah, the white slide looks great. Tighten you down. There we go. Okay, back to its original state, minus the front sight. So, let's take off the RMR cover plate, which we use an aluminum cover plate instead of plastic like other companies do. And so here we have our, oh, there we go, there's the camera. Our Sig Optics Wolf X Pro red dot. Now, for those of you with little experience in mounting optics, the short screw goes on the right side. The long screw goes on the left side. If you put the long screw on the right side, you're going to mess with your EDP. That's going to cause problems. Let's see. I'm missing comments here. Let's see. And if you wonder why, just take a look at your EDP hole. Yep. And imagine putting a screw all the way down into that hole where your EDP rod goes. And think about why that might cause problems. Is there a gun I'd use from World War II? Yeah, the M1 carbine, Thompson, the M1 Garand, 1911. Any of them, really. Grease gun. The M3 grease gun, yeah. There we go. Get you nice and tightened down. Okay, and there we go. Now we have our camo slide with an optic. And so, let's get that barrel in there. It's not hard. Just got to use the right screws. And to make sure I don't lose the ones that go with this, we'll just put them back in the box along with that RMR cover plate. I got rid of the Glock 21 Gen 5, and I think that's what caused all the jams. Oh, that sucks, Reaper. Earl Rope, we don't do custom cutting on customer slides. We just make our own slides. We're not set up to do custom work for people. Not yet, anyway. Had a Holosun 507C on it, yeah. At least you got some money for it, though. There you go. That can go in there. Get down in there. Get in your hole. You know, what I do like is that they offer a little card to teach you how to zero your optic. There we go. So that is pretty cool. The Wolf EDG, I believe it is like 270. I think. Yep, they gave me a little cleaning cloth. I love a little cleaning cloth for your optic. Hard lessons, man. Is it better just to buy an MOS slide or one that I have cut? Well, an MOS is going to be easy for you to use so long as you're getting an MOS optic. Or if you get an adapter plate for whatever other optic. But if you wanted something with an RMR, it's best to get a slide that's already milled for RMR. Like ours are already milled. You can go to a company and get them to mill your slide for you for an RMR. And remember, if you are taking off the Stiffler RMR cover plate, use a 1/16 or 1.5 millimeter Allen wrench. And remember, for your optic, the long screw goes on the left, the short screw goes on the right. And regarding Siley, they offer a wide variety of screws. So you might need to measure and you might need to play around with which screw size is perfect for your build. So for Stiffler slide here, I believe what we did was 12 millimeters and 9.5 millimeters. I'd have to check again to be sure, but... let's see, what's the going price? Answered that one. Yep, it is a nice touch. But your slides, of course, fit with any carbine kits. The what now? Oh, the carbine kits. Right. I was brain farting there for a second. I actually haven't tested our slides with it, but so long as it's designed for the Glock 19 Gen 3 or the Glock 17, it should, in theory. But I've never tested it with carbine kits. That's correct, Reaver. So long as you're not touching a fully complete build, you seem to be okay. But always bear in mind that someday someday YouTube might get all butthurt. If you are a gun content creator or 2A creator or a knife creator and you're on here, remember, social media is not your friend. They will oppress you eventually. Yeah, same. We have an RMR to Acro. Somewhere at the shop right now. Okay, Don J, if you are an iron sights guy... Uh-oh. I got reconnected, disconnected, then reconnected. Okay, whatever. Where was I? Don J, if you're an iron sights guy and you get one of our slides, all you have to do is put some Loctite on these screws and crank them down. If you do not want an optic on it, that's your option. Just be sure before you do, because the screws are going to be much harder to get off. Stony Danza, I'm not 100% on that. We are probably going to do a custom specialty slide. It could be camo, it could be lightning, it could be something. We might even laser engrave something on it. Who knows? We're still not 100% on what we're doing there yet. Oh, let's see, do a quick refresh. I'm at 719 subs. That is awesome. Thank you, guys. 281 to go, and we're going to give away a Viper slide. That is so cool. Yeah, I like Gideon. I actually have a Gideon Stiff Nation. I'm going to put that on a shirt or something. We lent it out to a friend, so I need to see how he's liking it. Do you think a slide would work on a complete airsoft replica? Probably not, because it's so much heavier. We're not using like any sort of zinc alloy. We're using 17.4 stainless steel. It's probably too heavy. Gustavo, how's it going? We do it on our own slides. So what we do is we take a bar of 17.4 stainless steel and we mill them into slides. But we don't do custom cutting for anybody else. Not yet, anyway. We're just not set up for it as a business. Oh yeah, I think so. I think it works great. I'm probably gonna have to bring this into the shop and show them, like, hey guys, look at this. Though I wonder, we could probably Cerakote the PSA frames if we get the white ones or if we get the tan ones, because they're light enough. For ourselves. For ourselves. We would not do this for anyone else. We do not have an FFL, so it'd be for our own personal use. Yeah, you can, Gustavo. We have our website, stifflermanufacturing.com, as well as our eBay pages. Here we are. There's our website. And here's all of our social media and other stores and whatnot. I'm getting some staticky feedback. What the hell? There we go. Show you my messy desk. It's okay, it's my work desk. It's supposed to be messy. The Stiffler Dragon logo would make a great stencil. Yeah, we could probably get one made like that sometime. I kind of want to see if we can 3D print Glock mag covers. HK-47 will always have a place. I'm an OG Star Wars fan. I'm not so big on some of the new stuff. But I grew up with old Star Wars and the expanded universe. So what can I say? Hey Tara, how you doing? Man, it's 9:40 already. I should go to work and be a productive member of society. But I got you guys here, so yeah. Clone Wars was fine. It's mostly the post Return of the Jedi stuff I'm not a huge fan of. They had so much potential, and they didn't know where they were going, and it just created so much, I don't know. Compared to the expanded universe, which already had like a story written out, they should have just followed that and made tweaks. Because all they're doing is plucking stuff from that already exists, like the whole Thrawn thing. Here, I'm getting my inner nerd out while I'm talking about guns. All they did was steal stuff from writers that already existed and then tweaked it. And then they said, oh, hey, look what we made. We're content creators. No, you're not. You're fucking editors. You're fan fiction writers. And then you wonder why a bunch of people are pissed off at your content. It's like what happened with Witcher. Henry Cavill, he's a freaking gem. Exactly, Don J. Exactly. I think Don J knows exactly what happened. But that's okay. Oh, Don J, they're still mulling that over, by the way, on the other slides. Yeah, I mean, well, honestly, with a TV series, you have a lot more to play with. Oh, I haven't even asked them yet. I should probably go into the shop, but they're not going to be in the shop for another hour. Some of the other employees are there, but the people in charge of this decision are not even in there. Because they were staying in, they were at the shop until 3 a.m. So they are freaking passed out right now. But I'll be swinging by and finding out. Shoot me the tracking for that one, man, if you have it. Just so I can be like, hey, this is where they put it. Sometimes a tool breaks, man. Sometimes you got to go in. It's just unfortunate, but it is what it is. Yeah, go ahead. Get a lot of Camo on Instagram. And if you guys have Facebook, please feel free to follow us there as well, because Facebook has made us non-recommendable because we post gun stuff. So you can only find us directly. You can't find us in your feed anymore. And then, of course, like and sub here so we can get to our 1K and do our slide giveaway. We're going to give away an SM19 Viper slide. Don't know what color or theme we're going to do, but once we hit 1K followers on YouTube, that's when we'll give it away. Stipulations, rules, are that you have to subscribe to Stiffler Manufacturing on YouTube. We'd love it if you subscribe to all the other ones, but it has to be YouTube. And we will be doing a live on a Friday or Saturday night, and you have to be in that live to be entered into the drawing. And then the address we are shipping it to has to be an American address. You have to ship it in the United States. So if you're one of our wonderful foreign watchers, love you guys, but we can't ship outside of the United States. I think I've played War Thunder before, but no, I don't build any models. I'm not actively playing it now. Yes, there will. There will be a notice. Once we hit 1K, we'll announce which date we'll be doing the live giveaway on. So you guys will get like a 1 to 2 week heads up. Yeah, because of international shipping rules on gun parts and U.S. rules through the State Department, I can only ship in the United States to the 50 states as well as to the territories. So Puerto Rico, Guam, American Samoa. We don't ship to American Samoa anymore, but, you know, that's one of them. U.S. Virgin Islands, the Northern Mariana Islands. Mostly I play Helldivers anymore, when I have the time, if I'm not working or streaming. I don't have to worry about progression, I just worry about blowing up robots and bugs like it's Starship Troopers. Decompress. Oh, we got some more notifications, right on. Oh, people liking our reels and stories, dig it. Greatly appreciated. Alright, US tracking. So yeah, we should have received this. Let's see here. Delivered front door / porch. Oh. I hate that notification immediately. But yesterday at noon. Okay. Yeah, we'll check in with the shop. Or we'll check in with the shop next door, too. Yeah, buddy. No, I just prefer when the notification says handed off to individual. Something like that. Or delivered in mailbox. Friday nights are I used to play Tarkov. Gets a little crazy competitive and weird sometimes, though. I do like how more realistic it is compared to other games, though. They regulate the pressure-bearing parts in the UK? 22 auto rifles? Man, I'd love to have a 22 auto. That'd be badass. Oh, and I used to play Ready or Not, that SWAT game. That was fun. I should probably pop on there again. There we go. All right, I'm gonna keep the live going, but I'm gonna go grab some of my stuff, and I've got to actually be an adult. Plus, I gotta go to the post office. Load up this bag. I've already got the stuff packaged, so we're good to go there. Okay, here we go. Got this. Taking this with me today. Oh, and it comes with an Optic cover, so that's pretty cool. Okay, this will go with me. All right, thanks for joining, everybody. Thank you for the likes and subs. Help us get to that 1K so we can do our giveaway. But that's where we're ending it today. I got to head off to the post office. There we are. So as always, stay safe, stay 2A. 2A is the way.